This is a video dedicated to give context to players about the history of Malseria and to give podcast listeners some pieces of lore that might be fun to know of, I guess. Malseria is the fifth planet in the star system of Freysian with three moons, Rotaros, Lunaros, and Margiros. And it is quite temperate and also about double or triple the size of our own Earth. I'm not really sure how big that is in comparison to other D&D planets, whatever. We start off with the creation gods. There's three of them. It's Freden, Ninev, and Uthred. Freden created the stars and the cosmos around us. Ninev created the planets and the life on it. Uthred created death and order and civilization. On these planets, I guess. And the planet of Malseria, with the history of civilization, is about 56,000 years old. The specific age and current date of the entire planet is 56,343. But however, this is not really mentioned in the campaign because they don't really know that. But the first age is that of the Age of Brastian. This is a smaller civilization when the world was young, and it lasted for about 3,000 years from 1200 from the year 1200 to the year 4000. I guess that's right, yeah. And in the year 4200, the world had its first fall. This was an event where a lot of creatures, people, and buildings and man-made objects were basically essentially cleansed in order to give space for more new things. Think of it as wildfires, where old is removed to bring life to new stuff. And that was the first fall. But after the first fall, the first generation of magic was also created. This is something that Freden stands for, but also with the help of Uthred. They created runes and rune magic that was carved into rocks and formations and trees and different things. This, however, is now a lost art. After the first fall, the Empire of Mists rose from the ashes in the year 5300. This was an empire of elementals and monsters, as they were more powerful and humanity and yet to find a way to fight against them. But this king empire only lasted for about 1,000 years to the year 6400. Then the kingdom of Ash rose from its grave. This was a kingdom of man, a kingdom that lasted from the year 6400 to the year 3400, or 13,490. This gave rise to many of the weapons and cultures that are established as the norm, but no one really knows the origin. And in the year 3500, the second fall happened. This is when new monsters rise and stuff that isn't from the elemental planes or the fiend planes, but monsters that are from this material plane rise up, such as owlbears, nothics, goblins. They are now here. And with that, the oligarchy of United Herald rises against the monsters. This oligarchy lasted from the year 14500 to the year 19300, to give context. And this stood against the monsters up until the third fall. And this is also when second generation magic was created, the magic that we now know today, which is also the regular magic of D&D, whatever. And from the ashes of the oligarchy, the gerontocracy of Harold sprung forth, which lasted from the year 19300 to the year 200 and 300. Wow, 200 and 300. Sounds very fun. But during this time of the gerontocracy, the world split apart. The previous Pangea continent that it was now split into 5. And the main island, which was at this time called Brime, became the polyarchy of Brime, which lasted from the year 2700, no, not 2700, 200 and 700, to the year 29900. I can read my own handwriting. What do you mean I'm just bubbling up stuff I've already written? Yes, I have. Yes. And with that, the polyarchy of Brime established different continents and started to diversify themselves. This is when stuff that are different in cultures, because now the world wasn't as united. And because the world wasn't as united, a monarchy sprung out from the polyarchy, which became the monarchy of Brime. This monarchy lasted for about 4,000 years, from the year 29900 to the year 33400. And because of the monarchy, different things happened, which caused the 10 Millennium War. This, of course, 10 Millennium War lasted for 10,000 years, from the year 33400 to the year 43500. And this is also when the Mudokristic counting came to be. This Mudokristic counting is the counting from councils for how old the world is possibly. They are a group of archaeologists and scholars that take the earliest known examples of civilization and start the date there. There might be some other older stuff, such as old monster bones, dragon bones, whatever, but they count that as before AD, or BC, I guess, but not BC, because Christ doesn't exist here. Whatever. And the Mudokristic counting starts from the year 34300 of the Civilization's Age to come out to about 18,964 in the current age, which makes stuff about, which for the Mudokristic society, they think the history of the world is about 19,000 years old. And after the 10 Millennium War, or no, during the 10 Millennium War, what ended it was the fourth fall of the world. This led to the race of mixing, and different half-races, such as minotaurs, centaurs, satyrs, half-elves, and other such creatures came to be. Half-orcs, tabaxi, they are now part of the standard race. This led to the autocracy of Relicht, which started in the year 43900 to the year 1500. And it was quite a short one, and because the fall happened quite after a long time, after the 10 Millennium War, the world needed a cleansing fast. A lot of stuff had happened, and it needed quick quick falls. And so the fifth fall, happening only 7,000 years after the, or 8,000 years after the fourth fall, is when something happened with the gods. No one really knows for sure what happened, but they had to somehow sacrifice themselves and became split into different spirits. And that is when the new age of gods came to be. This is when the God Council formed of the first 5 gods. It has since then expanded, and the fifth fall happened in the year 500 and 1500, and it's currently now the 56300th year, which is 56,343. I'm saying it like that because it's easier to just say the shorter words. And since the last fall, it has been 4,754 years, and it's called AF, after fall. Just simple as that. So whenever I'm referencing something that's called AF, it's after fall. Yeah, whatever. And the God Council was formed about 100 years after the fifth fall, whatever. And this gives the short answer to how the world was formed. Yeah, that should be about it for a first glance. The different races of the world and all that jazz I will leave up in another video, I guess. I don't know. This was a short thing. This is going to be the first video. Oh yeah, I should probably tell you how it rotates around the sun, Malseria. It rotates with 400 times in a full year. Simple as that. It rotates 24 hours a day. Or a rotation takes 24 hours. And it has 10 months with short springs and short falls. And a week is 10 days. So it's a 10 week. And that is simply it. Yes. This is me, the DM, Story Eye, signing off, or signing off, just having declared the world, I guess. Hopefully this makes sense. I don't fucking know. This is my first time uploading something like this. Bye.